eyes glued to my cell phone screen. White fence for my mansion in the meadow. Another day in a digital dream. Robots in neon.
Thank you so much.
Whales in the sky. Spaceship is approaching. Everything is better online.
Hello. There's a lot of mowing going on. This is a park that I love, that I live near. This is actually where we came a lot during lockdown. Like, you in Australia, you were allowed to go to parks and exercise and go into outdoor spaces. And so this is where we came. We'd usually get like a takeaway, something like a takeaway coffee, and just come for some outside time. And it was actually so nice because right now there's no one here. But during lockdown, there was like so many people here, and it looked like one of those like picnic paintings from back in the day where they're by the lake. Anyway, in homage to that, I got myself a small talk bagel. I worry that this guy wants to start mowing. Maybe I should move. I'll ask him in a sec. But first, a bite. I got an everything bagel with tuna and pickled onions. No. This is where this is going to go. So this week I started reading The Artist Way. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a book from the 90s that is meant to be like a 12-week exercise to reignite your inner artist. I don't necessarily feel blocked right now, but it's always nice to read something that like reinforces like how you feel or introduces you to new points that are helpful. It all started on Monday when I went into the studio and I was like standing there. I got into the studio, I put my bag down, I was just like staring into space, standing there. Rocket's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. He's like, why don't you go to the city? Like, why don't you just take the day off and do something fun? Because I love walking around the city. I love shopping, but I just walk around and don't buy anything. It's like window shopping. Getting myself a little matcha. Anyway, so Rocket like insisted that I go, and I was like, no, I can't. I'm really busy. I have so much work to do. If I go, then I'm not going to be spending as much time as I can on work. And that's my toxic trait. He comes in 5 minutes later. He's like, you're going to the city. I booked you a massage for 11:30 in the city, so you have to go. I was like, ugh, semi-excited, semi-stressed. So I went. It was awesome. I had my massage, and I took my Artist Way, which I purchased recently, and started to read that after my massage. And honestly, it really helped. Like, I got back to the studio and I was like, I feel so much better. Like, it reignited some stuff in me. It made me feel like more in control and stuff. So maybe I was feeling a little off. Anyway, the agreement that you make with yourself at the beginning of the 12 weeks is you're going to write your morning pages every day, which I'm going to do now, and then also take yourself on an artist date once a week, which I'm doing now because I don't know if I'll have time, and I was feeling a bit headachy yesterday, so I'm like, maybe I won't even have the energy to go. So anyhow, here I am. I'm going to do my morning pages. I'm going to draw my sketchbook and have a lovely, lovely afternoon. It's going to be awesome. I've decided I want to go to the library because I've started like welting up because of the grass, I think. But before I do, I just want to read you a few things I highlighted in The Artist Way, in case you haven't read it and you are curious. The author's belief is that each and every person has within them a source of creativity that can be watered and it can bloom. It's meant to be a support gift for artists, and she believes that creativity is never tiresome. It's always an adventure, one that she's been privileged to share. So she started doing, from what I know, she started doing morning notes herself. And then she began like sharing it with friends and people she knew, and then like started doing workshops, and then someone was like, you need to write this down because it's going to help people. And evidently it has. Most of the time when we are blocked in an area of our life, it is because we feel safer that way. As they learn to take small risks in their morning pages, they are led to larger risks, which honestly I agree. I've only done the morning pages for like 4 days, but something I found is that it is like helping me process things a little bit, kind of in the same way that I would process my tasks in my planner. Something that she says at the beginning, this is literally just the intro, but she starts talking about how something that she was teaching people at the beginning was get out of the way, let it work through you, accumulate pages, not judgments. And I highlighted that, accumulate pages, not judgments, because it's something that I had at the start, which I don't have now. I feel like I consider things too much. I'm judging first to see if it's worthwhile, and that's not something I did at the start. At the start, I was like just making stuff and sharing it straight away, whether it was good or bad. Looking back, a lot of it was bad, but that's fine. Like, and that's only my taste now. I feel like it resembles my subconscious attitude of when I began making and sharing online when I was a teenager. And now I feel like because I have limited time and I'm more busy, I'm more judgmental, which kind of just like makes me criticize my work all the time. And I think what I should be doing is making stuff and letting other people have opinions about it. Okay, now we get into the actual book. I've read a lot of people have come back to the artist way, so it's not meant to be like a cure-all or something that's going to last forever. It's going to be like a tool that you use when you're stuck. Here it says you'll circle back through some of the issues over and over, each time at a different level. There is no such thing as being done with an artistic life. Frustrations and rewards exist at all levels on the path. Our aim here is to find the trail, establish footing, and begin the climb. I was like, Miley is right. She mentions that it's going to be a bit painful sometimes to like admit that you've gotten to a place that you don't like. She says we mourn the self we abandoned. We greet this self as we might greet a lover at the end of a long and costly war, which I like. We must allow the bolt of pain to strike us. Remember that this is useful pain. Lightning illuminates. There's such good analogies. Then she talks about the inner artist. She's really, one thing that I've noticed in the first chapter, she's really good at personifying like emotions or things that we feel or parts of us. She talks about the inner artist as something that you need to like nourish. Here we're talking about the morning pages. She says, as blocked artists, we tend to criticize ourselves mercilessly. Even if we look like functioning artists to the world, we feel we never do enough and what we do isn't right. We're victims to our own internalized perfectionist, a nasty internal and an eternal critic, the censor who rides in our left brain and keeps up a constant stream of subversive remarks that disguises the truth. Planes, it's inner west. Inner west is best. She basically talks about the censor as if it's like this thing inside you, that's this voice in your head, the one that tells you that your work's not enough or you're not right. Your sensor's negative opinions are not the truth, she reminds us. The censor is out to get you. It's a cunning foe. I drew my censor, like what it would look like. Stop taking the censor as a voice of reason and learn to hear it from the blocking device that it is. Your artist is a child and it needs to be fed. Morning pages feed your artist child. Logic brain was and is our survival brain. It works on known principles. Anything unknown is perceived as wrong and possibly dangerous. This is me right now. I feel like I'm so fearful. I'm like so careful. And it is kind of the antithesis to creativity. This is about the censor. The only sentences, paintings, sculptures, photographs it likes are the ones that it has seen many times before. Safe sentences, safe paintings, not exploratory blurts, squiggles, or jottings. This really stood out to me because I've had so many thoughts about the internet lately, like, or less the internet, more like algorithmic social media. And like, I don't think it's all bad. I think it's a really good place for artists to find community and to like launch their careers and stuff like that, obviously. But like, I don't think people should be turning to the Instagram algorithm for inspiration, like for sole inspiration. If you're not looking anywhere else, the censor is the same as the algorithm. Like it's taking what you've already liked before, what you're familiar with, what you know, and serving it back to you again and again. I think it like completely homogenizes things. And when people see something is popular and everyone agrees, there's this like temptation to repeat that. I've written the Instagram algorithm. If you initially don't like something or something makes you uncomfy, you merely scroll away quickly. This means you may never be served anything like it or similar again. The muscles of the... I can't read my writing. Basically, it only, like, the algorithm only serves you stuff that you've liked before. It's a really slow way to look for inspiration because it's just serving you similar things. I think the beauty of looking for inspiration in books or looking for inspiration in galleries or looking for inspiration outdoors is that you don't know what you're looking for, but you can still find it. Online, you kind of have had to have an idea of what you like or what you're looking for to be able to find something else that you like, but in the real world you don't need to do that. It is very difficult to complain about a situation morning after morning, month after month without being moved to constructive action. The pages lead us out of despair and into the undreamed of solutions. She's talking here about like, what could I possibly write 3 pages on? Mind you, I'm writing 2 pages, but mine is like a gridded notebook, so I honestly think I'm writing 4 pages worth of like a normal blind notebook because they're about like half height, and honestly I filled them up pretty easily. But she's just saying as like a rebuttal, it is very difficult to complain about the situation morning after morning, month after month without being moved to constructive action. The pages lead us out of despair and into undreamed of solutions. The other part, as I mentioned before, is the artist date. The artist date is an excursion, a play date that you pre-plan and defend against all interlopers. You do not take anyone on this date. I feel like this is fine because like, it's you guys. You're in my phone. If you think this sounds stupid or that you'll never be able to afford the time, identify that reaction as resistance. You cannot afford not to find time for artist dates. And I think this was something that like I've proven already that I do. For example, when Rocket wanted to send me to like the massage, I was like, no, I can't. Like, I could spare an hour, but I feel so like panicked about that. If your artist is a child, time with a parent matters more than money spent. Spending time in solitude with your artist child is essential to self-nurturing. Above all, learn to listen to what your artist child has to say on and about these joint expeditions. For example, if you're not enjoying your artist dates, it could be that you're not feeding your inner artist in the way that they want to be fed. So if you're going to like a hoity-toity exhibition or something, maybe your inner artist needs some lowbrow stuff. Maybe your inner artist just wants to just go see a trashy movie or something. I think I do a really bad job of listening to my emotions and listening to myself, but I feel like that makes sense to me. Listening to yourself as a way to get a gauge of what you need. I know that sounds so basic, but like I don't do that. Our creativity will use this time to confront us, to confide in us, to bond with us, and to plan. Then she talks about filling the well. This is like, you need to keep your well full in order to draw from it. It's like the inspiration well, or the artistic well, the creativity well. Art is an image using system. In order to create, we draw from our inner well. If we don't give some attention to upkeep, our well is apt to become depleted, stagnant, or blocked. As artists, we must learn to be self-nourishing. We must become alert enough to consciously replenish our creative resources as we draw on them. This is something I need to work on. Filling the well involves the active pursuit of images to refresh our artistic reservoirs. And now this is another thing that I thought about on social media. Looking on Pinterest, looking on Instagram, it's not a good place to look for inspiration, because I don't think it's just about the images we find. I think it's about the pursuit of the images. I feel like looking for something helps you define how you feel about your work, the work that you want to create to yourself. Like, for example, if you're just like looking at what's being served to you on a silver platter, you're not actually investigating anything. You're not thinking, you're basically allowing an algorithm to do that for you and to define your taste, which I don't think is good. I feel like being thoughtful about what you like, questioning what you like and what you don't like. If you do a Google search and don't find what you like, you can refine, and then you get a really good understanding about what you're looking for, because you've had to refine it, if that makes sense. I think part of finding inspiration is not about what you find, it's about like finding it, the journey of finding it. Filling the well needn't be all novelty. Cooking can fill the well. When we chop and pare vegetables, we do so with our thoughts as well. Why do I get my best ideas in the shower? An exasperated Einstein said to have remarked. Brain research tells us that this is because showering is an artist brain activity. This is me. My idea for my picture book, Zoom, came to me in the shower. I drew it on like the glass. Then I started thinking about, how can I make chores like this me time? How can I add value to chores? If I start seeing them, because you know that I've struggled with like cleaning, and like I'm on that path right now. And I feel like since reading this, I have really like appreciated the time spent doing chores and like how slowed down it makes me. And then obviously like the benefit of having the clean space afterwards. When they talk about like artist brain activities, it's usually in these moments of driving or like these automated activities that you're used to doing. So I feel like this is how habits and routine can like foster that kind of thinking, because when you create habits of like cleaning or habits like that you do every single week, you're giving yourself that time to just like get into the flow state. Many artists have found it useful to keep a notepad or tape recorder next to them as they drive. Steven Spielberg claims that his very best ideas have come to him when he was driving the freeways. And this is when I was talking to Rocket, I was like, maybe we shouldn't watch videos when we're in the shower. Maybe we shouldn't listen to podcasts and stuff when we're in between things. Maybe we need to give ourselves that space to like have these creative brainstorms with ourselves. Even though they're not like active, they're kind of subconscious. It's like we're trying to figure it out. It's almost like morning pages throughout the day in your mind. Our focused attention is critical to filling the well. We need to encounter our life experiences, not ignore them. And when remember, this book was made in the 90s, so this is before like internet was like widely used for what it's used for today. Yes, our focused attention is critical, but I don't want to like fully overload my attention. I want to keep my hands and body busy, but I want to like keep my mind bored, if you know what I mean. Arts is the imagination at play in a field of time. Let yourself play. And then I signed the contract. So that's like the first chapter. Every week you read a chapter. Every week you take yourself on an artist day, and every day you do the morning pages. And I've done the morning pages. I'm really proud of myself because I'm really bad at consistency. But yeah, I thought like reading that would kind of give you an understanding about what the book is about. At least the first chapter. It's just the first chapter. But if you like it, you should get it. We can do it together. Maybe I will document it, but I'm not promising that because I will put finishing it above like making videos about it. Anyway, let's go to the library. I could get a chai latte from Valentina's if they're open, out of the itchy part. Can you tell I'm getting all like patchy? Just pretend I look flawless. I just got there in time.
We met at midday, halfway up the mountain. I was falling asleep, not that I was counting. Standing on the corner, head down to your hips. Baby, I was born before you, but I'm too young for this. Shaking like a leaf on a tree, that's me. Shaking like a leaf on a tree, that's me. Shaking like a leaf on a tree, that's me. Shaking like a leaf on a tree, that's me. I Twice around the town. Beauty in a black dress, stranger in a crowd.
Jump up. Yes, this is special. You're a good boy. Stretch, stretch, stretch. That's a very good boy. Oh, baby. So cute. Go on. Yes. That's our boy. Okay, what are we going to have for dinner? You want tuna and salmon? Down. Down. Good boy. You go on the kitchen bench even though we can't stop you. I feel like going to the library and going through art books that tickle my fancy, or like books on art movements, really is embodying like not looking to the algorithm for inspiration, because I don't know what I'm going to find. I looked at a book about Art Nouveau and I don't really, if you were going to say, do you like Art Nouveau? I would say no. But like there were still elements that I liked, and if I wasn't like subjected to that, I feel like I would have assumed that I would like it and I may not delve deep. And I think that's the issue with allowing things to be served to you. I just think it's so much easier to like make decisions that aren't reflective of your taste when you're not actively looking for things. Anyway, I wrote down so many things to look up. So when I have time, I'm going to do that. I actually have some work to do tonight. My artist date went a bit longer than I thought, but I was really enjoying it. I was trying to listen to like what I was enjoying and stuff and try and follow like what I was enjoying, even though now the pressure's on. But I'm going to set up my computer and do some like editing, and then yeah. Hello everyone, this is me setting up my laptop in quotations. This is my desktop that I lug everywhere and use like a laptop. Anyway, I just wanted to take this moment to say a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video as per usual. We're all unique in what we bring to the table, so our website needs unique. I always talk about how their templates are super flexible, so you can do as much customization as you want, or as little as you like, knowing that it's always going to look good, that you can create member exclusive parts of your site. Also keeps people on your space online, which means you're not relying on other platforms to survive. I also read that you can connect Square readers to the Squarespace app, meaning that if you do markets or stalls, which I've been to a few art markets lately, you can keep your inventory up to date, your custom info all in one place, and it adds it to your statistics that's already in the Squarespace app, which I think is really nice because I like to look at those. You know that I recommend Squarespace as a long-time customer. If you've never tried it before, go to squarespace.com/furrylittlepeach. You get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Thank you, Squarespace, and I hope you like this video. I could give you updates on my artist way journey, but in the meantime, you should grab a copy. Bye.